What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm gonna head over to TI Dyno where the mad scientist Dave Dalkey's got my motor ready. The black car's engine is done. We're going to pick it up and then we're gonna make a push to get it in the car. Before we get started, make sure you hit that like and sub, and I appreciate all y'all. Let's get into it. All right, so I got here to TI Dyno. Let's go check out this parts. Remember, we had a whole bunch of parts here, so there's a flywheel to the T56. This is the old 351 crank. That's my 363 crank. We're not going to use that one anyways, even if we put it together. My 351 rods and the Harlan Sharp, we put bigger rockers on the 350 or the 410. So these are my old heads from, we're on the 363, the 1450s. Anyway, without further ado, this is what my damn engine looks like. Shut up.
That's funny stuff right there.
When I first looked at this motor, and Dave told me he painted it, like, the only thing it's missing is bedazzle. Tell me I'm wrong. Couple little bedazzle things right over here. I don't know what to say. But I wanted to show you guys anyways. Dave thinks it's funny. Slow Nate thinks it's funny. Everybody thinks it's funny. But me.
It's AMC.
No, bro. That's from space. Yeah. I should just send it.
Send it.
Send it?
Send it.
But it's a blacked out car.
It'll be faster.
You think so?
Yeah.
So when does paint add horsepower?
That's Dave's super paint.
Is that the super paint?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's the super. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really know how I feel about having some AMC teal color on my motor. I know this guy's had like a little inside joke going on with me and whatever, but I mean, it looks nice. But I mean, it's not my thing, you know what I mean? So the car has a blacked out theme. I want to stay with the blacked out theme, tape the motor off, and it's already clean. It'll spray up pretty fast, pretty easy. Couple layers of ceramic black, get it all cleaned up. I'm gonna head on back to the shop. Cousin Paul, cousin Fred gonna help me get this thing off. Got my care package. I'm super excited. And you know, just like everything else, you got to take your time with these things, because you'll forget something, it won't be right, and you'll be mad you didn't do it while it was out. So now you know damn well I couldn't go with teal. Yup. Let's get it. I'm taping off some of this block. It's already clean and ready, so it won't take too much. You know, I'll put a couple coats of black on it and whatever. It's gonna still bother me though that it's teal underneath of that black. I don't know if I can handle that. So I'm pretty much nipping at the bit here to get started on this motor because I've been waiting for so long. But you can see I went ahead and painted most of it. You know, I painted it all black again. So what I'm gonna do is start picking at this motor. Like, I'm gonna do the crank pulley and the alternator. But I don't wanna do a whole lot to this engine today. I'm gonna do a lot tomorrow because we're gonna put these solid motor mounts on. I got a couple sets, and this is the original ones there, and I want to run the polys this time. So I'm going to run these, but the problem I had with the solid motor mounts I had last time is the Moroso pan, which I ended up buying again, wouldn't clear the rack, you know? So I got some spacers, some nice hardened spacers I'm going to put underneath of it and try to get this thing up. But I got to make sure that I clearance my TPS, because, you know, if you look at my other videos, you know, I got a 351 video that shows that the 351 even with this tall intake will fit in a Fox, you know, in my Fox. So one of the problems I did run into, though, I did have a little bit of TPS damage from where I hadn't adjusted the hood right. but I want to make sure the turbo fits right. I want to make sure that the TPS is. But something like this, I don't want to take and go crazy with, like, you know, I want to take my time with it, make sure it's right. The motors needs to be primed again. I'm ready to do that now. So I think I'm going to put the alternator on. I'm going to put the crank pulley on and probably go ahead and prime it again. All right, doing a little bit of late night push on my 410 Windsor here. I wanted to give a shout out to my man Surgeon over at Cleveland Injector Hospital. This guy's local to me. You can see the number right there, 216-219-2263. This guy's been cleaning injectors for a long time. He even gave me a little video. Does a nice job, packs them up, cleans them. Obviously, they were pretty dirty from last season when I left the E85 in it. Got the crankshaft pulley on. Decided to go with the breather, the trick flow valve covers that I had on the 363. That's got the catch can. Went ahead and primed it again. We're about to set the injectors in. I'm going to set my rails, and I think I'm going to call it a night, because tomorrow I'm going to come in and do the motor mounts and alternator or whatever, and then we'll be pretty much ready to drop it in the black GT. All right, we're on the second day. Me and cousin Paul, we don't have cousin Fred here, so it's going to be a little more difficult, but we're going to get this engine in the black turbo GT. We're going to snip up some stuff, move some stuff away. I'm pretty sure that me and cousin Paul can go ahead and get this thing in there. Last night I was really busy. I just got into it, had my beats on, and I was just banging it out. I mean, it was a Friday Night Lights thing. I enjoy doing this a lot. So, you know, when you've done it so many times, it kind of comes as second nature. But I got the alternator on, got everything tightened down. We can't put the power steering pump on because it's still in the car, but I got the pulleys and locked down the valve covers and figured out the injectors and the rails and got a lot of, you know, I even shimmed the drop mounts and I measured on the K member because I got to make sure that my 351 pan clears the rack and the motor mounts sit where they're supposed to. After we get the motor in and set, me and cousin Paul got to put the hood on it to make sure that we're still going to clear, because that's very important, because I'm not changing my hood. I'm still going to go with my SVO hood. And I know this video is kind of boring or whatever, but we've all been waiting for this motor. I've been waiting for this motor, and it's exciting to get it back down in the car, because once I get it locked in and I get it set, then I could pick at it and the shit goes fast. So at that point, the only time I need cousin Paul and cousin Fred is to help me on the stand get the T56 in, because that thing weighs more than me. So just like everything else that you do with fitment with Fox bodies, it's just, sometimes it's just a struggle. As we tried to shim and bring these solid motor mounts that we bought from LMR for 351 drop mounts, but we came to the conclusion that there's got to be a footnote on these drop mounts when you buy them that it only works with a manual rack. Because these would work just fine if I didn't have an actual rack, just like I had said before. So we said, okay, we got you beat, okay. We decided to try the black mount, which is bigger and it's taller. I've had these for a while. They were on GBH, the black coupe that I had, and I'm like, okay, we'll just try these. Still didn't work. Hood didn't even clear. We're just gonna go back to the polyurethane, the Prothane Motion Series or whatever they call them. So the video I made with me clearing a 351, clearing my Cobra R SVO hood, comes itself with a footnote. Pretty much have to run them with Prothanes, and your hood should clear. Your 351 should clear, even though the... Okay, so we're gonna test this theory, and then we're gonna finish this video up, and then we're gonna continue picking at it with other videos. But we're gonna get this thing in and set. That means the car will be ready for a drivetrain underneath, because we're gonna get this set and get it locked down. And like I told you before, we're gonna move right over to flywheel in T56. So, and without any more headache, we actually got the engine set in here, and this poly does work, but that oil pan's not doing us any favor, so I got to pull it back out and change the mounts. But I don't necessarily like that at all. So me and Paul have came to the decision that we're gonna try this one time because it might be omen for us. If my 351 fits in this, my 410 stroker fits in this with the drop mounts to clear the hood, we're gonna bring this back. We're gonna bring this car back to life. I think it's time. Yeah, that's where we're at. So we're gonna pull this out. We're gonna put these motor mounts, the drop mounts back on because I know I got to clearance this one anyways. As you can see, it sits right on the pan. And if it sits in the white car with drop mounts, then it's omen for the white car. That's just the way it is. Let me also explain why we came to that conclusion, because I didn't actually add that. The white car not only has 17s in the front, but it's got Cobra big boy brakes. It's got all the rear disc, 9-inch rear end, or excuse me, 8.8 with 9-inch ends rear disc. It's already clearance for 28, which I was gonna need for the black car anyways, and I don't think the black car has the strength in the brakes to be stopping that motor anyways. The car's got a chrome molly cage, it's full weight, full interior street car, but this has always been the better parts car to crank the power, and we just been denying putting it back together for the longest time. So a lot better parts than the black car. Some of the things are equivalent, like the fuel systems are the same, and they both have anti-roll bars, which work fine on the street, by the way. But this one's got big boy 35 spline. Like I said, 9-inch ends. It's just basically built for this. So we'll see. Well, that was a lot of work, but we decided to change it up a little bit. And I want to introduce to you guys. She's been hiding for a long time. Like I had been telling you, I told you earlier what we were gonna do. And this motor sits in here like it's meant to be here. Plenty of clearance for the TPS and plenty of clearance. It'll be for the turbo, all that stuff. Because if this top clears, this turbo will clear for that hood. We'll get that hood cleaned and painted. And this car is beautiful as it is. I mean, it doesn't have dings and bad shit in it anyway. So, you know, it's got 28s already in the back clearanced. Big 17s, big brakes. We're gonna send it. It's a 410 Windsor. We're gonna have the T56 faceplate in here. And we're not sure what we're gonna do with the black car just yet. So we had talked about putting the 363 back in it. I'm not real sure. We're not giving up on the black car, but we do have a monster 363 stroker that can go in that with a T56 Magnum Synchro that we have. So we can make that an NA car and just enjoy it. I love that car. That car is beautiful, but that doesn't mean that that could also set us up for that Coyote swap we've been talking about. We ain't got to put it in Hobo 5.0. We could put the Coyote swap in black car. A lot of options. But for now, pretty sure it was meant to be. See you soon.